Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to our chant class tonight here in the U.S. It's designed to accommodate our Asian followers. So welcome to all of you. Let's see, what shall we talk about today? Anyone has any questions? Okay.
好，看今天我们要谈论什么？有问题吗？好，想一下。
I'm still struggling with the jet lag, but it's getting better. It takes a while, but it's part of the learning process as well.
跟这个时差做斗争。
Go through life and you have challenges. It's when you, instead of running away, you face them. I don't avoid problems. I face problems. That's how I learned the past 20 years. All right. Chan is very special. Yes, JC?
禅呢是非常特殊的。
예. 안녕하세요, 마스터. 아미타불 마스터. 질문드리겠습니다. 그 만트라를 이제 그 일정한 숫자를 정해놓고 이제 데일리로 할 때 이제 좌선이 앉아서 이제 앉아서 이렇게 만트라를 할 때 보통 이제 예전에 염주를 가지고 있던 숫자를 조금 산반해서 그냥 이제 그 자세를 요 파스처를 이렇게 법계 정의를 하고 그 법계 정의를 합니다. 근데 속으로 이제 만트라하면서 숫자를 세는데 숫자 세는 게 숫자도 좀 산만하게 느껴져서 아예 그냥 숫자를 안 세고 이제 그냥 한 채로 그냥 만트라를 계속하고 이렇게 하는데 드리고 싶은 질문은 이렇게 좌선하면서 만트라를 할 때 염두를 안 하고 할 때 숫자를 세면서 하는 것이 약간 띵킹 마인드 생각하면서 하기 때문에 산만하지 않을까 해서 하는데 숫자를 세는 것도 괜찮을지 혹은 아니면은 제가 요즘 최근에 하는 거는 숫자를 안 세고 제가 보통 그 데이비조 같은 경우에는 1독하는데 한 40초에서 50초 걸리기 때문에 1시간 정도 하면은 그걸 역산으로 해서 숫자를 이제 카운트를 하거든요. 그런 식으로 하는 것도 괜찮을지 좀 여쭈고 싶습니다.
Hello, Master. When I am reciting the mantra daily, I used to
当我念咒的时候呢，每天念咒
determine how many times I should do daily. So when I sit and mantra before, I used to count with my beats. But I thought this is quite distracting. So nowadays I just count inside my mind and my hands slap together. And I also realized this is also quite distracting. So I stopped counting in my mind and only just recite the mantra. So my question is, when I don't use the beats and when I count inside my mind, is it also my mind thinking, so would it distract my mind? Or these days, because when I do one time GCM, it takes about 40 to 50 seconds for me. So let's say I meditate and recite for 1 hour, I just divide 1 hour by 40 or 50 seconds. Is this okay way to do?
However you want to do it is okay. If you want to keep track of it and using various means, those are just expedients. I would not worry about it. If it works for you, if it's important for you to keep track of the count, find whatever way is convenient for you to do it. And actually, whether you use by hand or use beats or use your mind, they're all okay. Whatever works better for you, eventually you are able to keep track of it by various means, because sometimes we get a full stop and we lose track of it. So it's natural for you to have some form of physical things or things that you can keep track of. so that
一般会用一
you
些
don't
物理
get
的东
this,
西，比如说
you
像
don't
念
get
珠这样的东
lost
西，所以我们能够
and
记住
don't
它的
lose track
计
of the
数，
count.
但是你不会
So
突然一下
that
忘
works
记
just
了，
fine. Whatever you want to do, really,
这样是
really
可以的。无论你想怎么样做呢，
okay.
都可以的。
And what is the second part of the question?
那个
두
问题的
번째
第二部
세컨
分是什
파트는
么？
없습니다. 이렇게 여기까지 여쭙습니다.
No second part, Master.
No second part.
没有
Okay.
第二部分。
And as far as you saying that if I take, if I know that I do a great compassion mantra in 40 seconds, 40
我在做
seconds,
大悲咒呢，40分钟，40秒钟，
how many minutes is that?
108遍的话
Someone do it，
那是
quickly
多少分钟呢？每一遍40
40
秒，
seconds each time times 108. That's how many minutes for one
应该是72分钟吧。
120 minutes.
是问这个是
120 minutes. That is slow. Okay, you could be a lot faster than that.
是不是说那样很慢？
So,
你可以比这个要快很多。
so
你应该可以做到快很多。
eventually, you keep it up. You will, all of you will become naturally faster
最终呢，
and
你
faster
继
and
续，
faster.
那你们所有人都会变得越来
And if
越
you
快，
want
越
to
来
be
越快。
faster, one way to train for it is
如果你想
to
要
recite
变得
it
越快呢，
for,
一个训练的方法呢，
let's
就
say, the
是
entire day
就是
without any
每个人一
distractions.
天，
Okay, it will come naturally.
念一整天，
When
没
I
有任
was
何
at
的
a
干扰，
novice
这会自然而
and I
然
forced
的
myself
发生的。
to
当我在
recite faster,
这个沙
I
弥的时候
discovered
呢，我强迫我自己
certain
要
ways
念
to
得
do
更
it.
快。我发现
And
有一些方法
so
是可以
it's
这
a
样
matter
做
of
的，可以做到的。
focusing and concentrating for extended period of times, and eventually
专注在
you
这个
understand
更长的
why
时间，你
you
要专注
slow
在
and
更长
what
的一
it
个时
takes
间
to
里
be
专注，
faster and
你
even
会发现
faster
为什
and
么
even
你比较
faster.
慢，
And
如何
so
变得
40
念诵
seconds
得
is
更快
kind
更
of
快。
slow. Okay.
40秒呢是有一点慢，
Meaning that you still have a lot of
意思是说
errant thoughts when
你
you
还是有
recite
很
the
多
mantra.
的
All right.
妄念的，
But that's okay. It's a
当你
natural
念
evolution.
当你念咒的时候
Nothing to be concerned
也
about.
是可以，这是一个自然的发展过程，没有什么可担心的。
Okay. Just more recitation, with concentration. I was lucky. I was
就是要
working with
更专注的念
Bodhisattva,
咒。
and we
我很
both
幸运，
discovered how to do it, and we
我和
confirmed for each other.
菩萨一起工作，我们都发现我
So I
们
lucked
找到
out.
更好的方法，我们互相印证。
I lucked out in a sense. I had someone to cultivate with, and we can compare notes. Okay.
我有有
Lucky
有
he's
人
with
跟我一起修
Bodhisattva.
行，我
I
可以
was
互
just
相
an
印
idiot.
证。很幸运的，
But
他
we
是个菩
wanted
萨，
to
而我只是一
recite
个很
faster. We
还
figured
什
it
么都
out.
不是，所以我只是想
All
要
right.
念得更快
Any
一
other
些。
questions?
最后我弄明白了。
Yes, too.
好，还有其他的问题
Master,
吗？
when you said we should face our problems, don't run
师
away
傅，
from
当
our
你说我们
problems,
应该直面我
I
们的
have some
问题的
recent
时候，
experience
不要逃避
related
的
to
时
that
候。
point. So last week,
我有一些
I
最近
talked
的
about
一
the
些体
fear
验。
associated with my dad.
上周
After
呢，我
that,
讲了这种
something
恐
very
惧，
interesting
和
happened.
我父亲
The
之间
next day, he was
有一些比
waiting
较有
for
趣的事
us,
情发生。
and
第二天
before I
呢，
got into the car,
他等
I
着
was
我们。
already getting very
在我进
nervous
车
because
进入
I
车
knew
之
he
前
would
呢，
be angry every time
我
he
就很
waits
紧
for
张
us.
了，因为我知道呢，他会每次
So
他
when I
等着
got
我们
into
的
the
话，他
car
都会很
and
生气。
started driving, as
所以我进了
expected,
车里
he
面，
started to
然后开
complain
始
that
开
I
车，
didn't do
像
proper
我
planning,
希望
so
一
he
样，
had
他
to
就开
wait.
始抱怨了，说我没有
I
做很
noticed
好的
that my body
计划，所以
was
他就要
starting to
等。
get tense.
注意到我的身体呢，
And then
就
one
开始有紧
voice
张了，身体有
appeared.
点紧张，然后
I'm fine. I'm no
我的
longer
声
a
音呢
little
就
girl. I
变
can
得
defend myself. And the fear just
我开始
disappeared,
觉得我
disappeared
可
just
以
like
的，我不是
that.
小。
And now I'm no
小
longer
孩子了。
afraid of him.
然后这个突然
I'm
消失了，
even not
然后不
afraid
再
of
害怕
talking
他
about
了。
the temple in front of him.
我甚至
In
不
the
害
past,
怕
I
他
was so careful not
我
to
甚至不害
mention
怕
the
在
word
他面前
temple.
讨论这个
So-
寺庙的事情。我以前呢非
Yeah.
常
Thank
小
you.
心，不
I
敢
don't
讨
know whether
论，
you
不
helped
敢说这个
out
提这个寺庙的事情。
secretly.
谢谢。我不知道如何你是如何秘密的帮助我。
I like to claim I helped you secretly.
就是说，
But I did not,
我愿意
unfortunately.
说我帮助秘密
Because I
的
had
方
been struggling
帮助
with
你了
that
但是
for
其
so
实呢，我却没有。
long. I think
因为我已
revealing my
经
weakness in
挣
public
扎了很久了，这件
was
事情
really a sign
这
that
是我的一
I
个弱点，
was ready to face it directly.
我的一个症状呢，就是
Yeah,
说，
very good. I'm
我
glad to
我
hear
我已
that.
经准备好
One
去
thing,
直面
yeah,
它
go
了。
ahead.
就是
I
说
do
很
have a
高兴呢
question.
听到这一点。
Yeah,
我还有
again
一个问
related
题
to my dad. There's many layers.
跟我父亲有关，还有
I
很多
love
层
him
次。
and want to take care of him, but if I'm
很爱
honest
他。
with myself,
我想要照顾他，
I
但是
don't
呢，
really
我
like
对我自己
being
诚实的话
around
呢
him.
我并不是
How
真
can I
正的
learn to
跟在
enjoy
他身边，站在
spending
他
time
身
with
边。
him actually?
我如何能够喜欢跟他待在一起？
I don't know. I'm afraid you asked the wrong person. Traditionally, in our training, we're supposed to renounce joy and the fun. So I wouldn't know how to advise you because our traditional model is to let go or even
我们
having
传统的
fun.
风格呢，就是要放下，
So
即使是有放弃这种乐趣。
don't ask a monk how to have fun
对，
because most
不
monks
要问一个
would
和
have to
尚如
lie
何
to
有
you.
乐趣，如何享受乐趣。
Because that's not how we
因为
are
大部分的和尚他
traditionally
会跟你们说谎的，
taught.
因为
We
这个
taught
传统
to
上
let
呢
go.
并不
We
是
taught
我们所
to
被教导的
renounce.
我们被教导的就是要放
That's
下，就是要舍
that's
离，
how you acquire wisdom.
这是
However,
你如何来获得智慧
since
的
you
方
asked,
式。
I
然而
have
呢，
some experiences in my
既
prior
然你问
life
了，
I could share with
我
you,
有一些体
and
验，
please
在
take
我
it
的
with a
这
grain
个
of salt.
在之前的生活中，我有一些，
Basically, I
就
have
是
no
仅供你
business
参考。我有
advising
一
you
些
how
经
to
验。
have fun because professionally,
基本上，其
that's
实我
not
根本
my
没有什
forte.
么，没有办
Okay?
法跟你提供。
But I find
提供了
that
如何享乐
even
这件事。
as a left
我发
home
现呢，
person,
即使作为一个
there
出家人，
must be a middle way in our lifestyles.
一
To
定
me,
还有一个生活
it's
中，我们的
traditionally,
生
even
活方式
though
中肯定还有一
where
个
I
中
came
道。
from
对我来说呢，传
Shinoa's
统
style,
上呢，即使
where
是
we
我来自修
renounce
化
and
上人
renounce
的
more
这
and
种风
more and
格，
more and more.
我们舍离呀，舍离呀，
That
舍
is the
离，
mode
越来越多的
that
舍离。
traditionally the
这是
disciples
这
of
种模式。
especially the sanghas are
传
taught
统
to
上的
do.
弟子们，尤
I
其是出
find
家
that
人呢，
in the
被教导
modern
这样去做。
times
我
is
发现
unsustainable.
在当代是不稳定的，
I think
是
it's
不可持续的。
unrealistic. I feel that in
我觉得这是不现实
for
的。
the way, especially
我觉得
for myself personally, I have a hard time
尤其是
accepting
对我个人来
that
讲，
that you have to let go and
我
let go
很
and
难
let
以
go,
接受，
and
你必须要放下，
it
放下，
works
放下，
but at
这是起
at
作
a
用的，
cost,
但
at a
是
price. The price is that
但是是有代
you
价的。
lose connection.
代价在哪里？代价呢，就是说
You
你
really
会失
you
去一
let
种
go,
连接。
let go meaning you also want to
你
need
放
to
下
let
呢，
go
意思是
of
说
your relationship to
你
your
想要
family.
放下
And I find
你
that
的所有的
to me
跟你的家人的
personally
关系。
to be
那我发现呢，
unrealistic.
对我个人来说，
For example, we
这是不现实。
teach our trainees
举例
to
来
cut
说，
off
我教导
the
我们
ties of the family.
被训练的人呢，
离
要跟
家
家
断爱
人切断联系。
You leave the
离家断
family
爱
and cut off
你离
love,
开家
okay,
来
including
断
love
掉
for your
这种
family.
爱，
And I find that
包括
is
对你家人
okay
的爱。那我发现
initially,
呢，
but
是可以
I
的。
don't
最
think
开始的
that's
时候可
what it
以，
really means in the
但是我不觉
instructions.
得那是真正的意义，并
Because
不是那
I
个指导的
tried
真
that
正的含义。
and I find that
因为
it was easy
我
for
试
me
过
because
了，
I didn't get along
发
with my
现呢，
family and I
对
didn't
我来
like
说很
any of
容
them.
易，
Okay,
因
except
为
for
我跟
one.
家人其实
Okay,
合不
maybe two.
合不来，我不
Maybe
喜欢
three.
他们，除了
Okay,
一个人之外，也许两
I'm
个
getting
吧，
soft.
也许三个吧。
But the
我
point
现在
here
变
is
得更
that
柔软了。
I don't like the style of
这要说的
denying
点呢
it.
是说，我不喜欢那
And
种
this is
否
what I
认的
find
那
to
种风
be
格。
wrong with how people
但是我
live their
发现呢，
lives.
是
They deny it.
人
They
们
deny
这种
what's
这样
important
的
to
生
them
活呢是
instead
这
of
种
facing it
是
head on.
错误的，就是他们否
Initially,
认
in
他们否认一
Sangha's
些正确
training,
的
we teach them
一些重要的
to
事情
cut
怎
them
么
off,
最开始
but
在出
I
家人
don't
的训练中
feel
呢，我教他们
that
要
it
训
should
练
be
他们要断，
interpreted as
但是我不觉
forever.
得他不应该被 解释为呢是永远的
And so it's like I'm gonna postpone it for now. I'm not gonna touch it for now. But eventually, when I'm able to handle it, I will handle it. Okay. So I don't feel that the people who train me, train the Sanghas traditionally, are not quite there yet. That's why they still are skewed in their approach and cultivation. And because of that, they influence you in being skewed in your relationships as well. Okay. And so one thing I would make a comment to all of you is that it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a left-form person or a lay person, man or woman. There's one thing that the trainers, your sanghas, your masters don't teach you is that one thing that's very, very bad for you is to run away from your fear.
逃避你的恐惧。
We all have these hidden fears that as long as we look the other way instead of facing it, we only are delaying our unfolding of our wisdom. That's what I found out in the last 20 years. Yes, I went through the traditional style of training. I put a lot of my disciples through that as well. And I also experimented with some to help them face their fears sooner. And it seems to be working better for them than for others. So you see, I have the luxury of being able to conduct a lot of experimentation in the last 20 years without saying anything. And that's why I've decided I'm not going to, with all due respect, the traditional style works for Asia, but I feel this might work for the 21st century, for example. That we have fewer blessings in general, and we struggle a lot more. We have a lot more fears inside of us. And I find that it's better to face it. When you face your fears, what happens is that it's uncomfortable, it's unpleasant, but with the training you have, with the backup that you have, with all the practices we gave you, you can always draw upon those practices instead of running away from your fear. Okay? More specifically, if you fear for your dad, and instead of running away, say, okay, he's my father, and therefore being fearful of him is reasonable, that's hogwash. Okay? No one has to live in fear. Doesn't matter who you are. Okay? Traditionally, I have a problem with that, especially Asian cultures, where there's a hierarchy where you have the king, and then you have the teacher, and then the dad, okay, and then the elder brothers, and so forth. To me, it works fine to bring order to society, to the family, and so forth. But it can be a hindrance to your development of your wisdom. Okay, and so instead of accepting it that he's my dad, therefore I should be fearful of him, I feel it's perfectly justified. All of you say, okay, he's my dad, he's my whoever, and I'm supposed to be, he's supposed to have power over me, decision over me, and What I'm saying is, there's no need for you to be fearful. Okay? No matter what the reasons are, this is the limitations of the Asian style of values, the Asian value systems. It works fine for low levels, but when you get to higher levels, which we hope you will, and many of you have already, you should be more inclined to face your fears. And in order to face your fears, all you have to do is, okay, I'm fearful. It doesn't matter what the reasons are. It doesn't matter what the justifications are for you to be fearful. To be fearful is unhealthy for you.
害怕、恐惧呢，对你们来说是不健康的。
No one has to live in fear. Do whatever it takes to conquer that fear. Could be even like someone who cannot handle it, maybe run away until you to calm yourself down. Okay, because that's all they have. Okay, maybe it's a physical harm. Makes perfect sense to me to run away. You don't want to get hurt. Okay, but when you can, you should be willing to face your fear. Okay, and you face your fear by using the tools we gave you. Meditation, reciting Buddha's name, calling out for one yin's help, and so forth. Okay, as you do that, you find that you are able to better cope with your fear. Okay, and you will be able to conquer your fear eventually. So, and this is a general advice for everyone. You don't have to be fearful, no matter what the reasons are. If you believe in the fact that being fearful is not healthy for you, it's not good for you. In particular, let me give you a tip today. Okay. When you're fearful, it's a hindrance to the development of your wisdom.
对于开启你的智慧是一种障碍，是一个阻碍。
So that's why when we teach our people to renounce having fun and all those things, it's only temporary. Okay, because it's only in order to build up their stamina, their resistance level. But eventually, we have to learn to choose a middle way, if you will, in that. For me, I'm guilty of that. I ask my disciples to eat one meal a day and allow them to eat breakfast because that to me is a very important meal. And I don't want them to be too skinny. It looks bad. It looks extreme. And nutrition is very important. This is why I learned, I discovered the last 5 years or so. I followed my teacher's instructions. Don't worry about nutrition. I find that to be not helpful. Okay. It works for him, but it doesn't work for us. There's a price to pay if you ignore nutrition. And so the message is that you have to eat properly, you have to eat a balanced diet, and breakfast is a very important part of that. I insist on making sure that we provide you with proper nutrition, proper breakfast, and if you need supplements, we buy supplements for you. That's my responsibility. Okay, your diet, your nutrition is very important to me. So whatever you need,
营养是非常重要的。
Don't worry
无论你
about
需要
it.
什么，
Okay?
我回头会付，
And anyone
我会买，
who
不用担
dares
心。
goes against that,
那任何
I will
人
remove those people.
想要这个违反这个原则呢？
This is
违
new
反这个
rule.
原则的话，我会把这个人给
Okay? Nutrition. Take
这
care
是
of
个新的
nutrition
原
of
则，
our
我就会
people,
把这个
our
人移
trainees.
开他的位置。
All right.
照顾到我们的人的这个
the
营养。
things I learned over the years that also, for example, my teacher taught me that to ignore through his own example, ignore his body and work and work and work. I found about 4 or 5 years ago it would kill me. Okay. And I could not afford to die at the age 74 like he does. I need to be around for another 20 years.
我不能像他一样，大
Their
概
children are still young. I cannot afford
70
to
岁就
abandon
死了
them
，70 岁就死。
yet. Okay.
我的孩子
So
还是年轻
that's
的，我
why
还
I'm
不能
taking
够
care of
扔
my
掉他们，
body.
抛
I
弃他
cannot
们。
ignore it and so
所以我
forth.
开
So I
始
learned
照
to
顾我的身体，
compromise.
我不能再
Okay.
忽略它了。
Same
等等
thing. I'm
我开始
guilty,
学会了
also
去妥
guilty
协，
of
去
breaking the rules
同
myself.
样
I
的，
go and
我
see my
内疚
my
呢，我
disciple,
还
my
同
sangha
时
in
呢，我自己
particular,
也内疚于我
and
打
they
破了这个
work
规
very
则。
hard. They skip meals, they eat
我的
less
弟
so
子
that
啊，
they
我
can
的
go and take care of
尤其是我
their
的出家弟
business,
子，
what
他
needs to
们
be done, accommodate my
他们一天吃一顿
Dharma
饭呢，
works,
然
Dharma
后他们工作很
propagation
努力，
works.
一天吃一顿饭，所以
So
他
I
们
make
做
it
更多
up
的工作，
by taking
做
them
更多
to
的传法的工
restaurants
作。
and nice places and eating more than one meal. Okay.
我开始呢，用
And
带他们去
in the past,
餐
some
馆
of
啊等
my
等来弥补
other
他们。
elder
在过去
disciples
呢，我的一
took
些其他的
advantage
弟
of it
子，
and abused
是
it,
年长的弟子们，
sort of bribe the new
然后开
people
始呢，利用这种
by giving them
体系啊，开
food
始
and
有
by
点
eating with them. And that's
亲
contrary
人
to
呢，
our
通过
training
来贿赂他们，通过给他们一些给他们一些
training
食物啊
program.
等等，
So
这是和我们的
yes,
和我们的
I
训
allow
练体系呢
for
是相违背
fun,
的。
enjoying the food and so
是的，
forth
我
for
允
many
许
reasons, but
我允许很
I
多
failed to
有
explain
很多
to
的原
them
因让
that
我呢
it's
让
the
大家可以
exception
去
came from me.
享受这种食物的
They
乐
don't
趣。
have the authority
但是我觉得这个例外呢，
to
必须要从我这里
mess up my training program.
经过我的
Okay.
许可，但是
For
他
me,
们是
when I
没
take
有
them out to
权利呢
eat and
来
so forth and
自己
enjoy,
做出这种决
it's
定。
for all the reasons
那我
more
让
than
带他们
just
出去吃饭的话，
for a lot
享受
more
乐趣的话
reasons.
呢，是有
Okay, as
有
part
其
of
他
the
的原
training.
因的，还有
But
很多
none
其
of
他
my
的。
disciples have
这是
enough
训练的一
wisdom
部
to
分
be able to
但
do
是
that.
我的
And
我的
so,
弟子中
you
没有
see,
一个人
now
能
I'm
够
going towards having
真正
fun,
给出这种
going
例外，
out with my
允许这
disciples
种
and
例外。
have fun,
所以呢，这
okay,
并不是
we're
为了
together.
享受乐趣。
And
他们
so that's what I'm learning. I'm learning that you need
所以
to
这是为什
have
么我在学习。
to strike a
我
balance.
学习呢，你需
Okay.
要
How do you
要
have
有一个
fun?
平衡。
I'm sorry it took so long to get to the point. How do
如何
you
你
have fun?
享受乐趣呢？
In
很
my
抱歉，很长时间
humble
才说到了
opinion,
要点。如何享乐呢？以
fun
我的个人的观
comes
点，
with small things. There's no wholesale
乐趣
fun.
呢来自于
It's
一些
only
小的事情，
small things
没有一
that
个
will
批
build
发
up
的
for you.
大量的这个乐趣。
Okay. If you look at the big
都是
funds,
小的
it's
事情。
basically made up of small pieces
如
of
果你看
fun.
到大的乐趣
Okay.
呢，
So
基本上是
instead
它是
of
由很多
looking
小的
for
快乐所组成
ecstasy,
的。
okay, which
不是
you
去
can get with
寻找。
pills, I heard. You should be shooting
可以通过
for
吃药
small
来获
fun,
得一个什么
small
乐趣。
bits and pieces of fun.
你应该去
Okay,
追求一些
instead of
小的 小的乐趣，
being unreasonable.
一
And
个一个的小
it's
的乐
like
趣。
baby steps. If you want to learn to have fun,
毫无
try
道理，
this.
就像
Okay,
是这个婴
try
儿
to have more
小
fun
步。
in this
你
arena
想要
and try
乐趣的话，
small.
你
Try do baby steps and discover
试
what
一些
works for you.
小的一步一步的来，
Okay,
然后来发现呢，什么是
and
对你是比较效果比较
and
好。
there's no hard and fast rules for that. Okay. You
没有一个快的捷径。
I feel that there must be a balance between hard work and have fun.
一定有
You
在
cultivate
努力工
and you
作
make a
和
lot
享
of
受乐趣之间有一
sacrifices
个
to
平
do
衡。
that.
你修行，
And you
然后
have
你
to
做出很多牺
compensate
牲
that，with balance it out. Okay,
你
every now
你
and
要
then.
补偿它，
Okay, and so did I answer your
时常
question?
的去补
I
偿。
ramble a lot.
我回答你的问题了吗？
I think
我讲了很多东
my
西。
real question is
我觉得我真正的问题是，
in the past, our collection was mostly based
在过
on
去
me
呢
listening to him complaining about life. I
基本上
don't
是
do
我
that anymore, and I
我总是听他
feel
抱
there's
怨
a
自己的
loss
生活。
of collection, of emotional collection with him.
但是我觉
When
得，
I
我觉得跟
look
他
at
有
his
一
face,
种
or
情
I
感上
can
的一
see
种
his
缺失。
afflictions, which makes
这种
me
眼界。我看到他
uncomfortable.
的脸呢，我就觉得有很多的，
So
他有很多烦恼，然后让我觉得很不
I'm
舒
not
服。
really sure I want to spend time with him. That's
我不太
my
确认
real
呢，
question.
我
Although
想
I'm
跟
willing
他
to
在一
take care of him
起，
in
待
daily
在一
life.
起，这是我
Does
真
he
正的问
listen
题。
into the Dharma talks? I don't think so.
No,
Okay, very good.
he really doesn't like
他
me
听法
coming
吗？
here.
我觉得他不
He's
听。
what?
He doesn't like it when I
他
come
真的
here.
不，他不
Tough
喜欢
luck.
我来寺庙。
You're an adult now. Okay? You're going to do things that are important to you.
你是成年人了
He，has to eat it.
你要
he
做
doesn't
对你
like
自
it.
己有重要的事情。
All right. All right. My memory is very, very, very short term right now. And my buffer is very small right now.
我现在的
It
记忆
doesn't
力很不好，
refresh very well right
我
now.
现在的缓存非常小，
So,
现在刷新的不好。
when it comes to interpersonal relationships,
那说到你这个人
again,
和
you
人之
should
间
have
的
a
人之间的
balance.
关系的
Okay.
话，
It
你应该有一个平
it
衡。
takes two to tango. You want to do it well,
你需要
there
两个
must be a
人来
cooperation. You need to
是个
work
双方的事
together
情。
well. Okay,
你想要
and
做
you do
好
it
的话
well.
呢，
It's a
是有一个
beautiful
合作的。
dance, very
做得好
adorned,
的话，
and it's very a
就
lot
是
of fun
做
for
得好的话，
everyone
你们做得好的
involved.
话呢，是一个非常优美的
And
这
so
个
it's the
舞
same
蹈，
thing.
探戈需要两个人来跳。
At this point here,
所以同样的，
he belongs
在
to
这
the
一点上呢，
past, where he's stuck on the
他
model
属于过
where
去，
he
他
can
还停留在那种模式呢，
impose fear
他
upon you
能，
that work for him.
他可以让你害怕。
Okay, and that's how Asian
对
men
他来说，这个
are
是
raised
这是
in
亚洲
that
人呢，
culture, in those
他们
cultures.
被这
They're
样
raised to
在那种文化下，他们
have
就
to
是这样被
believe
抚养
that
长
they
大
have
的，
power
他们
over
就是这样
women.
长大的。他们相信呢，
And they're finding
他们
out,
相
the
信他
young
们
ones
自
are
己相对于
finding out that
女
the
性来
women
讲，他们
are
有权利。
rebellious. Actually,
那
not
我发
the
现
young
呢，
ones.
女
Recently, I
人
went to Korea. Now my old
女的呢，
disciples
其实是非
also are
常反
rebelling
抗性的。
against me.
最近呢，我去了韩国呢，我所有的弟子都
What a
是在
disastrous
反抗
thing.
我。
An
这是
Asian
个糟糕
old
的
man
事
like
情。
me having rebellious
亚洲
old
的
disciples,
像我这样的
that's not acceptable.
老人，
Okay,
有
but
一
it
些很
happens.
多非常
What are you
反
going to
抗性
do?
很强的弟子
Okay,
们，这是不可接受的
and。so
但是就是这样，你会
it's
怎么办？你能
about
怎么办？
he doesn't realize it.
所以
He doesn't realize
他
that
没有意识
you
到，
are a lot
他没有意
less
识
afraid
到，
of him than before. Or maybe
其
that's
实你
why
没有
he's
像以前那样
struggling.
的
His
那么害
struggle
怕
is
他
that
了。
he
所以这是
doesn't
为什么
want
他觉得很
you to go
他
to
在
the
挣扎，
temple
他觉得他不
and
想要
control over your
你
life
去寺
because
庙
he，likes the status quo.
然
He
后掌
likes
控你
to
的生
have
活，
power over
因
you.
为他就喜欢那个
Okay, he
现状，
likes you
他
to
就
be
喜欢他
afraid
有
of him.
对你有权
Okay,
利，
he doesn't realize that
你就应该害怕他。他并
at
没有
your
意识
level
到
right
呢，
now, he
在
cannot
你的现
make
在的这
you
个程
afraid
度上呢，
anymore. You are stuck in
其
the
实他根本
past
不能再让你
where
害怕了，
they condition
你还
you.
停
I'm
留在
sorry.
过去，
Okay, for you Asian men,
或者他
they
就想
condition you to
让
be
抱歉，对于
fearful
你
of
们
them.
这些亚洲男人
There's
们，
no reason for that.
他就想让你们
Okay,
害怕他们，
in
这是没有
the
理由的。
spiritual world, we are not
在这个
fearful.
精
What
神
do
的这
we
个世
have?
界，
We are
我们不害怕，
respectful of people of virtue.
我们尊重有德行的人，
You respect virtues and respect everyone,
你尊重
even
德
those
行，
who have no virtues.
尊
But
重
we're
所有
not
人，
afraid of them.
即使是没有
You
德行的人
respect，your
但是我们
father.
不害怕他们。
Okay, but he's your
你
father.
尊重你的父
Okay,
亲，
but
因为他是你
you
的
don't
父
need
亲，
to be fearful of
但
him.
是
So he has to
你不需要害怕
grapple
他
with。that and come
所
to
以呢，
terms
必
with
须要
that
是
eventually. Okay, and
最
to
终
make it
会这样
easier for him, there are trade-offs.
对他来说更容易一点呢，就是
Okay, you have
有一
to
些
give
平衡，有
him
一些
exchange things for him
你必
in
须要做出
in
一些
exchange
折中，
for
你给他一
becoming
些交
not
换一些
yielding
东
to
西给
him.
他，
When you butt heads with him, then you have to yield to
不
something
要再
else.
向他臣服。
Okay, that's how
你
you
不
do
臣
it.
服于他，
right?
你不跟他起冲
It's
突，你必
bribery,
须要
if you
臣
will.
服于其他的一些东西。
Okay,
你
either
可以
you
说
butt
成是
heads
一种贿
and
赂，
then you
贿赂他，或者
bribe
是
him
你跟他起
after,
冲突，
or you
或
bribe
者
him
是
after, and then
之
you
后再
then you make
贿赂他一
demands.
些，之后再贿赂他。
That's what wives
然后
do
你
to
贿赂他，
husbands
然后你再提
constantly.
要求，
But you haven't been married that long,
妻
so
子
you
对经
forgot
常对
about
丈
it
夫所做的
already.
事情。
Okay.
你没有，你结婚的时间不长，
And
所以你已经
singles
把这件
people
事
would
情给
not
忘了。
know would not understand what I'm talking about.
单身的人士呢，他们他们
But
不知道我在讲
it's
些什么。
to me to keep
但是
it things
对我来
simple.
说呢，
If you're afraid of that,
来简单
look
的
at
讲，
something that
如果你
bothers
害
you.
怕你爸爸，
Okay.
看一些到底是
First
什么
of all,
东西
look at
啊，
the
看
small
看
things that bothers
让你
you.
困扰的事情。
Okay.
首先呢，看一些
and
小的事情让你困扰的小
And
事，
don't run away from that. And face it
不要
with
逃
him.
避，
Make him
直
feel
面
the
他，
pain. Make him fail.
让
So
他
that you're conditioning
让
him
他失
for
败，
smaller
让他感受到
failures.
这种
He's
痛苦。
willing to give up
所以你
a
就让
little
他
bit.
去
Okay.
你
And
要
give a
让
little
他
bit
感受
more.
到一种
A bit more.
失
Give
败，
up, make him give up small
然后
things.
给他一些什么东西，
Okay.
让他去
And
放
what
弃
did I
一些
teach
小
you?
的事情。
Bribe him. Every time he gives up something, you
我
bribe
所
him.
教你的呢，就是每一次你让他放弃一些东西，你都
How do I
贿
bribe
赂
him?
他一下。
Just like you bribed your children.
我如何
There's
贿
no
赂他呢？
difference.
就像你贿赂你的孩子一样，没有什
Children,
么
it's
区别。
easier for
No, it's not
children
easier.
to be
孩子
happy.
呢是容易一
No,
些，
children,
不容易的，是不是说不
you
容
give
易？
them candies and things, those are easy. He also
你给
has
他们
his
糖啊
candies
等
as
等
well.
一些容易，
It's the same principle. That's
他
all.
也有他自己的，
Daddies also have
他
daddies'
也你
candies.
父亲也有他自己
You
的
have to
这个，
figure it out.
父亲也有
Okay,
父
what
亲
are
的
his
糖果，
candies?
你必须要搞清楚什么是父亲的糖
Okay,
果。
so I know it sounds very bad right now. We're manipulating our
所以
own
我知道
parents,
听起来
but that's what you have
好
to
像
do.
我们在操控我们的
Okay.
父母，这是你必
And
须要
so
去做的事情。
that's so you learn to condition him to smaller losses. He just
所
give
以
up.
你学会
Okay,
了
when
让他
he
实
gets
验
used to it,
习惯
then
于
you
呢
go to
很多小
bribery,
的
big
损
bribery,
失，
and then
然
you
后
force him,
让他
make
放
him
弃，然
suffer
后
the
让
big
他
losses.
适应于习惯于这
All
一
right,
点，
so
然
you
后
make
你就
small
给他
baby
一
steps,
些
small gains first.
贿赂
He's
他，
used to
然后让
losing
他
now. He's
让他
giving
牺牲
in to
更
you
多，所以
because
先
you know
给他
when
一
he gives
些
in to you,
小
he
的
gets
损失，
a
然后
bribe.
再给他一些小的
You see that?
贿赂。
I know it sounds terrible,
我知道听
but
起来
that's
这
what you
个
do
听起来
to
很糟
people who
糕，
have no wisdom.
这是你对那个没有智慧的人，你就应该这样
You
做。
can't reason with them. You only condition them.
你不能跟他讲道理，你只是让他们适应。
Okay? I hope it works. You can figure it out. What are
希望
daddy's
这个起
candies?
作用，你能够弄明白的，
That's
什么是
easy.
父亲
Daddy
的
is a lot of
糖果，
candies.
是容易的。
Yes,
父亲也有很多糖
Jumi.
果。朱敏，请讲。
마스터, 그 공격이 몸으로 집중될 때 어떻게 방어해야 되는지 질문 드립니다.
Master, my question is when the attack is concentrated on your body, how do we defend it?
What attacks?
说，当那个
When your husband beats you up?
那种对你身体有一种攻击的话，如何做？
아니요.
是不是说什么样的攻击？
남편한테 공격이 들어오는데 좀 신체 공격으로 집중되고 있거든요. 그러니까 예를 들면 좀 약했던 부분이 더 심하게 아파진다든지 피지컬적으로 더 약화가 되고 있어요. 물론 저는 이제 신체적으로 건강한데 남편에 관한 질문이고, 그래서 이렇게 공격이 신체적으로 특히 몸이 약한 부분으로 들어올 때 어떻게 남편이 방어하면 되는지 질문드립니다. 제가 지금 이동 중에 있어서 조금 불안정해요. 네.
No, actually, my husband is the one
是的，
who's getting
实际
attacked.
上我丈夫
You attacked your
是
husband?
被攻击的那一个，是你攻
So
击
you
你
want
丈
to
夫。
teach me how to attack him or what?
남편을 어떻게 공격하는지 가르쳐
你想让我教你如何攻击他，还是怎么样？
So it's concentrated on his body. For example, the
是
weaker
专注在
parts
他的身体上。举例
are
来说呢，
weaker. It feels sicker, and he gets
更
physically
弱的地
weak.
方，本来就
So
弱的地方就
Jumi
更
is
弱了，
asking how
然后身体上很弱。
how his
就在问
husband should defend himself.
Well, Jumi, stop
他的
attacking your
丈夫该如
husband.
何保护自己？比如说，好，朱米不要再攻击你的丈夫了。
와서 제가 아니고 와서 제가 아니고. 네.
Master, not me.
Yeah, who's attacking him?
不是我。那谁在
His girlfriend?
攻击他呢？难道他的女朋友？
아닙니다.
No.
不是。
그러니까 일반적으로 이렇게 보통 공격이 멘탈로 오고 그다음에 신체로 오고 또 간접 공격으로 오는데 지금 남편이 신체적으로 공격을 받고 있는 단계라서 이렇게 신체 피지컬적으로 공격을 받을 때 어떻게 방어해야 되는지가 제 질문입니다.
So in general, usually the attacks comes first mentally and then physically, and then it comes with the indirect attack. So this is on the physical attack stage. And then in this case, how do we defend ourselves?
还在身体的
Go
攻击
learn
阶
martial
段。
arts.
那在这个情况下，如何这种情况下如何保护自己？是不是说去学武术吧？
All right. Oh, again, I forgot also to mention to the previous person, the previous question, is that in your case, your dad has depression. That's why he doesn't realize it. That's why he's always complaining and whining constantly. So, of course, when people are that depressed, who wants to hang around with them? I don't blame you.
抑郁的人呢，谁想跟他们待在一起呢？
And you just have that's your retribution. You have to bear with it. And maybe one day, after you bribe him, you say, you know, you sound so depressing. You're making me so depressed. And you walk away. You're always complaining.
贿赂之后呢？
And that's how you begin to reveal to him how his action can be so detrimental to his family, to the one who he really cares.
对于他的家人是多么有伤害的。
There's a price to pay. You have to pay for that. Okay, he's going to be very upset.
有一个代价，所以你必须要付出代价。他会非常的难过，
It will help him in the long haul because no one dares tell him that.
长期来看呢，是会帮助到他，因为没有人敢告诉他这一点。
We don't have to, you know, if it gets to the point where it's too much,
不一定
you
需
should
要
walk away. That's all.
当一些事情太过的话呢，你就应该走开，就是这样。
All right. And we have to be gentle because sometimes they don't have the wisdom or the blessings to be able to address it.
他们没有这个智慧或者是福报
we can.
能够接受
That's
这
life.
一点，但是我们
Okay.
这是生活。
Again, you know, for Jumi, you know, if your husband has a problem, I don't know why he's not asking a question himself. You have to ask for him. But if since you ask, it's very simple. He just have to build up his physical stamina.
你只需要
Okay, and
需要
if
增
he
加他的体
learns,
力、耐力。
I don't know what you guys do in Korea.
我不知道你们在韩国做什么。
Learn some Korean martial arts, break some bricks.
学一些
all he has to
韩国的
do
武术，
is
劈砖。你所需要做的
learn
就
to break
是
some bricks and take a photo of him
学习
breaking
劈砖，
bricks,
然后照个照片，
hang it in
劈砖
his
的照片，
cubicle, his office
然后挂在
as a warning. That's
挂在
all.
他的办公室，作为一个警告，就是这
Very,
样，
very subtle warning that
非常
he can break
微妙的一
bones.
些警告。你可能会伤了你的骨头。
All right. Any other questions? Yes, 8.
Master, I also have a question about the fear problem.
我同时也有一个
When I was young, my dad
当我年轻的
sometimes
时候，我
he
小的
gets
时候，
angry
我的
very
爸爸
easily
有的
and
时候
shouted at
他很容
us
易就生
and
气，
sometimes beat me.
然后朝我
And
们大吼，有
I
的时候
do not know
打我
that。I have fear at that
我不知
time,
道
and
我有
it seems like
那个时候
after
我
many
恐
years,
惧。
I suddenly realized that
看起来呢，
in
很
that
多年之后呢，我
circumstances,
突然意识
I
到，
was really
在那种情
fearful
况下呢，
about I don't know
我非常的
what
害怕，
things I'm going to do
害
wrong
怕
or that
我不知道
will makes him get
我不
angry
知道我做错了
suddenly.
什么，
nowadays, when I grow up, when I talk with my dad, he didn't treat me as a young child, and this doesn't happen anymore. But I'm not sure. I think that maybe the fear, the fear there's some fear around the area of my heart. I'm not sure, but I think that maybe the fear gets dark somewhere in the heart area, and I want to know how I can deal with this issue.
Very good. Your English has improved drastically, 100%.
Thank you.
When you spoke in English, I mean, I'm sure your written English as good as before. I mean, it's a ChatGPT English. Okay, but we'll stay here, Weimar Temple. We will not go to university, which everyone also knows already. All right. I really feel sorry for Asian children, because I'm guilty of it too myself. Okay. Because in my era in particular, and I'm a little bit probably older than your dad, okay, we used having our ways, and we can blow our top whenever we feel like. And I still do. Okay? It's not really my fault. It's a generational issue. But the reason he changed is because he changed for the better, of course, but also because it doesn't work anymore, okay, for you, because it's easier to instill that kind of fear in children, but adults, they fight back, okay? So we learned that. What's this thing here? This is what, if you go see a shrink, okay, a therapist, they would say that you probably have a form of PTSD, post-traumatic SD syndrome disorder, something like that. Because you experience something so shocking, so upsetting that it affects you psychologically. Okay. And you have this huge scar that every time anyone touches anywhere near it, you really overreact. Okay, and that's what happened to these people. And it happened to soldiers, happened to people who have been abused, who have husband have been abused by Jumi and so forth, who beat up her husband. So understandably, we men have feelings as well, okay? But usually the PTSD is something that that is woven into your psyche. And when you ask a question, I know it no longer affects you as much anymore. Okay, you're not as fearful as before, but you have to still this fear because of your breeding. The way they train you Asians is that they instill these, what is it, the values that you have no right to question. Okay? And like blind authority about that over the children, doesn't matter how old you are, that's total nonsense. Because there's no such a thing in Buddhism. Buddhism, that what I teach you is fundamentally, doesn't matter who you are, you must have respect for each and everyone. Okay? You have to respect your children, you have to respect the weak, you have to respect the strong, you have to respect the stupid, you have to respect the wise, you have to respect animals, Okay, and this is one of the good things about the Japanese culture. When I find it funny, they bow to a table, bow to a tree, they hug trees. That's where I think technically I learned it from. The Japanese still travel to the forest, and they hold hands, and then together they hug the trees. Okay. Some religious tradition do that. Shinto Buddhism still advocate that. And so I used to laugh at that, but now I look at it and I appreciate it because fundamentally, yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous to modern day people, but intrinsically you have to learn to be respectful and be grateful. Okay, it comes together. It goes together. You have to be respectful and grateful. You can't keep on taking and taking and taking. Okay? If you keep on doing that, you have no respect at all. You lack respect in your life. And fundamentally, you have issues. Okay? And so, just if they lack that fundamental respect for others, they have problems. It's their problem. It's not your problem. You don't. I don't think that, and for you in particular, I don't think that you need to be traumatized by it anymore, because in the way you deal with that, unlike the average person who doesn't have the training you have, doesn't have the samadhi level you have, okay, that you bring it up and say, okay, this bothers me, and this I'm still have this fear of my dad and so forth, and you keep on looking at it instead of accepting it as a given, like the PTSD people, they say, okay, this happened, this triggers me, therefore I don't go there. Okay? We are different. We face it. We meditate on that. Okay? And that's how you rise above it. Since in this training here, you build up your samadhi, your resistance level, you will. That's why all it takes for you is to confront it. And the problem will lessen and lessen until it disappears. And eventually, when you get a little bit higher, all these problems can be solved this fast. Yes, JC.
마스터 안녕하세요. 제가 마스터께서 금강경 강설을 하셨던 걸 정리해 놓은 글을 봤습니다. 그 글에 보니까 우리의 그 감각기관인 눈과 귀와 뭐 이런 것으로 육근으로 보지 말고 마음으로 무엇을 보라라고 마음으로 보라라고 하는 말씀을 하신 것을 보았습니다. 근데 저는 그 마음으로 본다라는 게 무엇일까 참 궁금했어요. 그것이 어느 정도 지혜가 쌓이면 우리가 상대방의 행동이나 말이나 이런 것을 관찰한 것을 넘어서 또 종합적으로 그 사람의 마음을 판단할 수 있게 되는 것인지, 아니면 저에게 뭐 지혜가 쌓이면 그 마음이 상대방의 마음을 바로 이렇게 연결될 수 있는 어떤 정보의 교류가 바로 될 수 있는 그런 창이 열리는 것인지 그런 게 궁금했습니다.
Master, I saw your Vajra Sutra lecture that someone organized it in the text, and then I read that our sense organs, such as eyes, ear, the 5 skandhas, you said don't look with your 5 skandha, look with your mind. And I wonder what that is. If I have certain level of wisdom, do I get to not very affected by what they say, but more connect to their mind directly, and there's some exchange of information so that there's a new window open that I can connect with this person? How does this work?
I don't remember those instructions, unfortunately. When I explained the sutra, it was something like several years ago, 10 years ago maybe. And if I were to explain it again today, I'd probably do it differently. I probably disavow a lot of things I explained. Okay, I'm wishy-washy. I change my mind constantly. However, I explained it that way, to be truthful, because it served my disciples back then. If I were to explain it again today, my disciples' level have risen tremendously, so I have to would explain it quite differently, if you will. Okay. So honestly, I don't remember how I could explain to you that don't look with your eyes and ears and nose. Okay. And I don't think I would ever explain it that way. So I would ask you to revisit that. However, to save you time, if I were to explain it again today, I don't think that's how I would explain it. Okay. Your understanding is too vague. It's too theoretical. Okay. And you trying to, in other words, in American expression, you taking a big bite, and it's more than you can chew. Okay, you take this big bite and put it in the food in your mouth, you can't really chew at all. Okay, so I would not look at that way. I would not look at the eyes and ears and nose and so forth and mind and so forth. I would rather, for you, I would rather concentrate on my affliction. Let me tie it for you. Okay? If listening to the words make you afflicted, that has to do with your ear organ and your ear consciousness. If that's what bothers you, okay, then work on that. Because not only the ear organ, but also when someone yells at you, not so that the unpleasant sound, but also the eyes also dislike what they're seeing as well. Okay. And your mind also, in some cases, for example, for those people today, the mind then brings back memories of being of the big suffering in the past, and that the PTSD then is triggered again. Okay. That's too much. Okay. For you in particular, that section there in the Vajra Sutra, excellent sutra there, if I were to apply that, I would only focus on one thing through the 5 sense organs or the 6 sense organs that bother you. That's all. Okay? It's too much, too many organs to deal with at the same time. Okay? It's not feasible. It's not practical for you. Okay. If you have to be specific, you can talk to your sunim, local sunim, and ask her, you know, if just example, citing example we heard today, my father, the relationship with my dad is very important. The relationship with my son is very important. The relationship with my husband is very important. The relationship with my boyfriend is important. Okay, my boss is important. When this happens, when he yells at me, when I have a disagreement, okay, and the words used really hurt me, okay, or the facial expression are too terrifying for me, and so forth. How do I deal with it? It has to be specific. Okay, and then you do that, then it will help you understand this Vajra section. Okay, but this section that you cited is the theory that is too vast to really pin down how for you to apply it. Okay, and this is a problem with people who listen to sutras and study sutras, especially scholars and professors and so forth. They only stick to these principles. They don't understand that the principles are not used that way by the Buddha. Okay, they don't understand why Buddha did it certain ways. When Buddha spoke this sutra here, is to address a lot of people, a lot of his followers, and there are different levels. Okay, and he's able to help them. And by explaining sutras, the sutra is designed to help so many people at different levels, including us. Lowest levels are us compared to his disciples. Okay, and therefore, it's very difficult for you to try to take the words literally, like scholars, like professors. Professors are living in a different world. They only live with words. We live with deeds. Okay? So you want to rise above this to really understand the sutra. If you can simply understand how to deal with one sense organ, when something bothers you through that sense organ, then you'll be able to understand this section later. Because it's like that's what the nature of cultivation is. This cultivation, like you have this treasure store, all 6 organs. We don't need to understand all 6 organs. We only need to understand how to penetrate to an ear organ, to an eye organ, to a nose organ, to a mind organ. Then you go into this treasury. Okay. And then now the sutra makes sense to you. Okay, so your approach is too theoretical. I would not recommend it. And that's what scholars do. This is what people, monks and nuns who go to universities learn. And they only learn the words. They don't know how to penetrate the meanings of the sutras. Okay? It's totally different. All right? Thank you for asking the question. We stop here today.
感谢你问这个问题，今天就到这儿。